Yo, did y'all see Caitlin's face, bro? She was like, nobody cares. That is hilarious, man. Man, I lost my mind when they said that. Oh my goodness. Now, the way they were talking about it, it seemed like something that was premeditated or, predetermined before they got on live here.
Caitlin Clark just made the most savage move in league history. She straight up fired her assigned coach, Cheryl Reeve, on live television. This wasn't just a coaching swap. This was a statement. If you're Team Caitlin, drop a comment and let's dive into what really went down.
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game.
Caitlin Clark is a menace, man. She literally kicked Cheryl Reeve off the team.
Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team.
We've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. B's going to take her coach. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. Right now.
Caitlin just gave her a straight up, man, forget you and get off my team.
The WNBA All-Star Draft was supposed to be a feel-good event. Team captains Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier would pick their rosters, share some laughs, and coaches would smile for the cameras. But Caitlin had other plans.
The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap.
Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them.
Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty. Of course, Reeve is Collier.
As one of the captains, she was automatically paired with Cheryl Reeve, the Minnesota Lynx coach with the best record in the league. That's how it works. Top coaches get assigned to all-star teams. But here's the problem. Reeve has been one of Caitlin's biggest critics since she entered the league. For months, Reeve has publicly dismissed Clark's impact, downplayed her achievements, and even deleted hostile tweets after backlash. Many fans believe she influenced Caitlin's Olympic snub, though she's denied any official role. The tension has been building all season.
Cheryl Reeves, I get it. You have the best record in the WNBA so far. You want as many plays as you can on the All-Star. The same way you didn't give two shits about Caitlin Clark's fan base and all that. Don't nobody give two shits about your crime. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you're coaching Caitlin Clark's team, I don't understand why you had to make it a big deal and say, oh, well, this team's below us to have more plays and us, and it's disappointing. And like, what are you talking about?
The drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the...
Oh, he kept her off the Olympics. Now you're going to complain about her having more teammates than your players on the court? Yeah, get the fuck off this team. Embarrassing. I know she was embarrassed. I don't care what nobody say. I know she was.
When it came time to discuss potential trades, Caitlin didn't hesitate. She calmly leaned into the microphone and dropped a bombshell. To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them, but I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. The room went silent. Then she added the line that broke the internet.
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. B's going to take her.
I don't know if this is in the rules, but I don't really care. We're going to trade coaches. Sorry WNBA, sorry ESPN. We just made it a rule. Just like that, she traded Cheryl Reeve to Nafisa Collier for Sandy Brondello, the respected New York Liberty coach. The ESPN broadcast team scrambled to keep up, calling it the most unexpected move they'd ever seen at an all-star event. Reeve's reaction was priceless. On camera, she tried to play it off with a forced smile, but her eyes told the real story. This wasn't just a lighthearted swap to her, it was a very public reminder of their ongoing feud. The crowd erupted. Some laughed, some gasped. Social media exploded within minutes. Fans flooded Twitter calling it the most gangster move in WNBA history and the ultimate clapback. For once, Reeve wasn't in control. The coach who'd spent months criticizing Caitlin was now publicly rejected by the very player she'd been undermining.
Traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty. Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx.
But Caitlin wasn't done making statements. Her draft strategy was pure genius. She built a no haters allowed dream team. Her first pick set the tone, Aaliyah Boston, her Indiana Fever teammate and biggest ally. Then came Sabrina Ionescu, one of the few established stars who welcomed Caitlin with open arms during her rookie season. Next was Aja Wilson, because as fans joked, Team Caitlin, no ops allowed except Aja. We ain't stupid, Aja's that good. You simply can't pass up the reigning MVP. She rounded out her starting five with Satu Sabali, another vocal Caitlin supporter who's been enthusiastic about the new wave of fans she's brought to the league. Her bench choices were just as intentional. Kelsey Mitchell, another supportive Fever teammate, Gabby Williams never said a bad word about her, Sonia Citron, championship teammate from college, and solid players like Jackie Young and Kiki Iriafen. The pattern was clear. She picked players who support her, players she trusts, and absolutely no critics.
She loved the fact she traded Cheryl Reeve. That's my favorite part of it all. She traded her coach.
News here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something you're agreeing to, Fee. There's no terms to this deal.
Literally avoided anyone who'd tweeted negatively about her or spoken against her in the media. This wasn't just about basketball strategy. Caitlin was sending a message to the entire league. She knows who's real and who isn't, and she's not afraid to make hard choices to protect her peace. After months of being undermined, snubbed, and criticized, she finally stood her ground. She refused to share a bench with someone who hasn't believed in her from day one. The symbolism was perfect. Reeve, who once held all the power, now found herself coaching the rival team, the very team Caitlin was determined to beat. The critic became the outsider, while Caitlin controlled her own narrative.
Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule.
The fallout was immediate and intense. Clips went viral, fans celebrated her audacity, and even fellow players couldn't help but comment on the obvious tension. But Caitlin handled it with remarkable poise. She didn't gloat or rub it in. She just smiled, stuck to her decision, and moved on to building her championship team. That quiet confidence only amplified the impact of her move. For Reeve, it had to be embarrassing. Not only was she publicly rejected, but she now had to coach players who were aligned against Caitlin, many of whom had also been vocal critics. Meanwhile, fans rallied behind Caitlin even more, seeing her not just as a phenomenal player, but as someone unafraid to stand up to the politics and personalities of the league. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up to the All-Star draft, she owned it. In one unforgettable night, she fired her hater coach, built a dream team full of loyalty and talent, and sent shockwaves through the league. She proved she's not just here to play the game, she's here to change it. By standing up for herself and refusing to let anyone diminish her light, she showed why she's more than just a rookie sensation. She's a leader, a fighter, and the future of this league. Now the stage is set. Team Caitlin versus Team Collier. A battle not just of skill, but of pride and respect. If you're 100% Team Caitlin and believe she made the right call, drop your support in the comments below. The All-Star game just got personal, and Caitlin Clark is ready to dominate.